Hello, Happiness Abounder, and welcome back. As we are continuing our discussion all about how to build connection to your intuition and or higher power, I'm so excited to talk about today's topic. If you are a longtime listener of the show, you may have an inclination at what this subject is because I swear I think I talk about it every week with slightly different context. And that is, of course, journaling. If you want to build a connection to your intuition or to your higher power, taking a moment to express yourself through journaling can make all the difference. And here's what I mean by that. So much of our lives, we go through ignoring, somewhat ignoring the voices in our head. Meaning, we tend to listen to the negative stuff, but not the positive stuff. And we go through so much of our life struggling to listen to ourselves, to listen to our best selves, which is there inside of us. But we spend so much time suppressing that it's really hard for us to tap into our intuition when we've spent so long making sure we didn't listen to it. And this is what I mean by we didn't listen to it, right? When we are growing up, we may get a thought to do something. And then that thought gets kind of smashed down, if you will, by all these other thoughts of, no, we can't do that. People will think we're weird. We're not going to have any friends. These people will make fun of us. And sometimes when we're a little kid, like elementary, maybe we do it, and then people do make fun of us, and they say we're weird. And so we start to shut those, dare I say it, creative and imaginative thoughts down. And so we spend our whole life having these fun thoughts or thoughts to do something differently. And that could be our intuition. That could be our higher power. But instead, we've spent most of our life shutting down those thoughts and not listening to ourselves. The other side of that is you may have an inkling, maybe to not do something, but everybody else is doing it, so you start to do it too, because you don't want to be that one weird person out. And then maybe something not great, sometimes even bad happens. You're like, man, I wish I would have listened to myself. How many of you has that happened to? I'm raising my hand because I've had both sides of that spectrum. And the thing is we've spent so much time shutting down that little voice inside of us, shutting down that intuition, or as if you want to call it, that your higher power. We spend so much time suppressing that it's really hard for us to tune in when we decide that we do want that next level of connection. So one of the fastest and easiest ways beyond being still, which was yesterday's episode, is to journal. Because here's the thing, that is an outlet for you. That is an opportunity for you to share all of those crazy thoughts that come to your mind, to write down things in a stream of consciousness and see what comes out without judgment. Because that's the other thing. How many of us have written in a journal and then been like, yeah, that was weird. I'm not going to really write my journal again. Because we're judging it. We're judging the experience. We're judging the emotions. We're judging the thoughts. We're judging what we've written. Our handwriting, our spelling. When the truth of it is if we could just take that judgment away and allow ourselves to be us and to express yourself for even just a short period of time through journaling, it can connect or reconnect, realign you to those intuitive thoughts or those inklings coming in from a higher power, if that's how you want to look at it. But you have to be open to those ideas coming to you instead of always shutting them down right away to the point that they've stopped coming to you because you spent your whole life trying to ignore them. And the reason you've been trying to ignore them is because you don't want to be the weirdo. You don't want to be the person who's made fun of. Or you don't want to be the person that said, no, I'm not going to do that. And this is a little bit different, but I think it's a correlating story. As some of you may know, especially if you follow me on social media, and if you don't, make sure you do, happinessabound.com has all of my social channel links up in the top corner, but you can find me on Instagram at happiness_bound, Facebook at happinessabound blog, also on YouTube, Twitter, I'm even on TikTok. And Pinterest. But that said, if you have been following me specifically on Facebook and Instagram, you may have already known this, but I've been doing a challenge called 75 Hard. Well, secretly, I've also added a little supplemental challenge to that challenge where on top of all the requirements for 75 Hard, I also opted to journal every day for 75 days. Here's what I'm getting to though. I cannot stress to you enough how many people, when they see my giant gallon water bottle and then they ask what I'm doing, how many people have openly commented that it's weird? How many people have openly commented that that's something they could never do? It is an astronomical amount. Pretty much everybody I've met that knows I'm doing 75 Hard has made a comment within one of those two ranges. Which 75 Hard is a mental toughness challenge. But here's some of the mental toughness part, a small piece of it. Here are a whole bunch of people that I know seeing what I'm doing and saying I'm weird. Also, the other side of that is a whole bunch of people seeing what I'm doing and saying that's something they could never do. Meaning, I'm an outcast, right? And maybe I'm not, but that's what your brain starts to tell you, like, no one else is doing this. You're going to be weird. People aren't going to understand you. You're going to be unrelatable. All of these thoughts start coming, and you have to challenge them and be willing to step into them. Now, I did feel intuitively called to participate in Hard 75. That's it, game changer. Highly recommend it. If you do follow me on social media channels, be sure to reach out. I'm happy to talk about it. But that said, I felt like I should be doing this challenge. I decided to do it, and I added journaling in. I 100% believe that if I had not been journaling every single day during that time period, I would not have been able to express myself and also not have been able to keep on going when I did feel like I was going to be weird or an outcast and I had to shut down that intuition, or I felt like I should shut down that intuition. And instead, through journaling, I was able to tap into that and keep on progressing forward towards my goals, which, as you know, being happier, progress, getting our goals is what this podcast is all about. So when you feel intuitively called to do something, you're going to face some opposition. But instead of shutting that thought down, figure out how to step into it. And one of those techniques that is my favorite is specifically journaling. So I want to encourage you to give it a try. And if you hate writing, do a video vlog, right? Video journal, do an audio journal. Find some way to express those ideas and start that reconnection and realignment with your intuition and or your higher power. That said, I do have to say, one of the other key components to not letting those thoughts or those negative thoughts come in and tear apart my goals in my life, especially when I have people saying I'm weird and like making me feel like a bit of an outcast, has been declarations. The combination of journaling and declarations with tracking and reporting has been phenomenal. So if you have a big goal on the horizon and you are facing opposition and those voices in your head are also not necessarily the most encouraging, I want to encourage you to keep on going and to also maybe consider the Happiness Abound Declarations class. This is a class I teach where I educate and inspire and inform on 3 different types of declarations to help you move through your goals, get to your goals, but also to combat those negative thoughts and help build your confidence, and then also help you cope in extremely difficult and different situations. So if that sounds like something that you would want to explore, like I said, if you have a big goal on the horizon and you know you need to improve that self-talk, I encourage you to go to happinessabound.com and check out my Declarations for Happiness class. That said, I am going to leave you with that today. I hope that you have a wonderful day. I highly, highly, highly encourage you to check out journaling, to tap into your intuition, to connect with your higher power, and above everything else, I want you to remember, you are capable of happiness abound.